I'm Lori Grunin, editor for CNET, and this is the Samsung NX200. The NX200 is the replacement for the NX100, and it's almost a completely different camera. I only had a few hours to shoot with this pre-production unit and to run some preliminary tests, but I really liked it. The NX100 was too big, too smooth and slippery, and too rounded. But the NX200 resembles Sony's NEX7. It has a thick body, but one that's recessed from the grip. It's solidly built and comfortable to hold, with a fairly typical control layout. Like the other NX models, it uses the Samsung iPhone lens system, in which several of the adjustments, such as ISO sensitivity or shutter speed, can be triggered and adjusted via a button and ring combination on the lens barrel. Of course, there's nothing that precludes you from doing it via the interactive control panel, which is an interface flexibility I really like. The LCD is bright and contrasty, and it remains visible in direct sunlight, sort of. It doesn't wash out the way a lot of LCDs do, but it gets really reflective, which poses a completely different set of problems. I kept wishing it would at least tilt. You can set the color tone as well as the brightness and contrast of the display, which is a nice feature. The NX200 doesn't have a built-in flash. Instead, like a lot of companies are doing now, Samsung bundles an add-on flash that slides into the hot shoe and pops up. When not in use, it tucks down, which is a design that really works for me. It has a completely manual set of feature, and it also has the typical set of special effects that we've come to expect from this class of cameras. You can't change the effects parameters as you can with Olympus, or overlay multiple effects like Olympus and Panasonic let you do. It also doesn't have an option for a Viewfinder, which is really disappointing at its price. Samsung incorporates a new 20 megapixel APS-C size sensor into the NX200, and I have to admit some reservations going in. That's a lot of pixels, though not as many as Sony's cramming onto the 23 megapixel sensor in the new NEX models. The image quality on this pre-production unit looked surprisingly good at low ISO sensitivities. I find the defaults tend to over-sharpen a bit, and out-of-focus elements looked slightly processed, but I think most people will be satisfied with that. And of course, the sharpness is always adjustable. The color, at least in daylight, looked really good, and it did well with saturated reds and pinks, which is unusual. Though I didn't see much noise through ISO 400, I did see some noise reduction artifacts as low as ISO 100. As for performance, when shooting, it feels fast and fluid enough that it didn't get in the way of my shooting. And it's faster than the NX100, but it's still slower than several of the current models. Given its relatively high price, though, Samsung plans to launch it at $899.99. I really think it needs an articulated LCD, a viewfinder option, some of those features, as well as better performance. We'll get it in and retest it when it ships. I'm Lori Grunin, and this is the Samsung NX200.